Maybe some of you heard of this legend, this ageless classic hardcore piece of a game known as Digimon World. Launched when I was just 5 years old, and for more than 20 years I've been playing this from time to time. And still discovering a new mechanic or just something, a new recruitable Digimon on my own. It has no tutorial, no guidebook whatsoever, and is the exact textbook translation of trial and error. I mean, my mother language is not English, and just imagine a Digimon loving kid trying to solve this on its own. Digimon World is a hardcore breeding adventure experience where the players takes the role of a Digimon tamer trying to restore the peace and harmony of Fire Island by recruiting Digimons, defeating them, convincing them into joining the city by whatever means necessary. I've spent hours, maybe days, weeks, and I don't know how much time I spent trying to understand this game's mechanics on my own when I was just a kid. One wrong step, one wrong attribute that you focus on, or care mistakes that you did while training your Digimon would lead your Digimon to Digivolve into a dung-eater slime called Numemon that would ruin your progress and your hours, forcing you to train your Digimon until its lifespan ends, just to reincarnate once again to born anew. Digimon World is hardcore as fuck. Digimon Survive is just around the corner, and it's time to start a new journey into the world of Digimon games. More will soon to come, so don't forget to subscribe for more. Launched in 28th of January 1999 for PlayStation 1, Digimon World presents itself as an open world adventure and a monster breeding game. Depending on your choices by the start menu, you either start as Digimon's main mascot Agumon or another fan favorite Gabumon. Agumon can be defined as an easier chill start and Gabumon as more hardcore, real deal challenge start due to their starting attributes and movesets. Our nameless protagonist as a middle schooler gets summoned into the Fire Island by Digimon, the elder Digimon of the city, and learns about the current situation of the Fire Island. Lots of Digimon left the city. Their behavior changed after a phenomenon occurred. It is up to us with our partner Digimon to travel across the Fire Island, trying to understand what happened to this island, recruit members to our city, and increase its prosperity. Whole game progress is based on recruiting Digimons and developing the city facilities, so don't expect a deep Digimon story this time. It just presents a pure Digimon training kind of experience. Although Digimon World has a combat, we as the tamer act as the coach that trains the champion that would go into the ring. Depending on the brain attribute of partner Digimon, players have different choices to yell, starting from offensive to change target, attacking from range or going defensive. Each Digimon can carry 3 different moves to the battles and can either learn or perform techniques depending on the type of Digimon. From fire, air to machine, new moves can be learned either by digivolving or fighting against Digimon that hang around in different areas of Fire Island. If you want to learn an ice move for your Garurumon, then you better go to Freezeland and fight against some ice Digimons first. Whole game system depends on players' curiosity and will to explore, adventure, and once again, trials and errors. If you never go out to battle, learn new techniques and earn some money, you might have some problems by the end game, I'm sure. But don't worry, if you never played Digimon World before, listen to my tips and tricks carefully. Be careful of the indications appear on your Digimon's head. For example, if they are hungry, a meat symbol appears, so stop whatever you are doing and feed it meat or Digimushrooms or fish, just whatever you have. If a water drop appears, that means it's sweating and tired. Stop your training and rest your partner by Digimon's house. Its lifespan reduces if you continue to train it when it's tired. A poo symbol means that it needs to go to toilet or use a portable potty, and Z means it needs to sleep. By some occasions it can also get sick or hurt, so either you need to use bandages or medicines to cure your fellow Digimon. If you're unable to fulfill these needs, your Digimon will receive one care mistake which would affect its lifespan and also its Digivolutions. For example, the purest boy ever, Angemon, should be trained with 0 care mistakes, meaning that if your rookie Digimon that can devolve into Angemon wants to go for a poo-poo, then you better take it to a poo-poo place. If you fail to fulfill its needs, Angemon Digivolution will be gone for good for that run. But when a Digimon reincarnates, care mistake count goes back to 0. When you start with your Agumon or Gabumon as a rookie level Digimon, they can digivolve into around 5 to 6 different champion Digimons depending on their care mistakes, attributes, weight, or how many battles that they fought by the current lifespan. Agumon can digivolve into Greymon, Tyrannomon, Centaurmon, Monochromon, and etc. And each champion Digimon have different conditions. Greymon is more oriented on attack, maximum HP and less care mistakes, where Monochromon requires higher defense stats and so on. Either you discover these conditions by yourself through trials and errors again, or use sweet Digivolution guides. At least by using these guides you wouldn't make huge mistake by training your Digimon and won't achieve the Dung Eater Numemon. Trust me, they really do eat dunks. And its own dung or any ancestor's dung it can find. And for this review I cleared the game twice. Started a new game to have a footage with different Digimons, but unfortunately I trained my first Digimon twice into Centaurmon. But by my second run I discovered something new, and maybe like a speedrunner method perhaps. A training focused more on attack and speed that will spam knockback to all enemy Digimons into defeat. During my first Digimon I recruited around 10 Digimons, earned around 20,000 money and still going. By my pure luck, my tamer level also increased by 1. Right after Centaurmon I seek the knowledge of Digimon evolution guides, which led me to this chainsaw holding Digimon called Giromon. I need plus 15 mistakes and quite low body weight. I leveled up my Centaurmon, starved him to death, thinking that it was for its own good, and got my Giromon, and once in my life I literally speedrun this game with my first Digimon and reached around the last dungeon. But my Digimon's lifespan was over. At least I got like 2 tamer levels that helped me to level faster than before. By making champion or ultimate Digimon, sometimes you earn tamer levels. Starting from 0 to 10, each tamer level grants 1% of attribute transfer to your next Digimon to be reincarnated. And you can imagine what this means. Each run will become tad bit easier if you can increase your tamer level, helping you to achieve quite strong ultimate Digimons like Skull Greymon, Metal Mamemon, and Phoenixmon. You can also achieve different Digivolutions by using special items, but using these won't earn you any tamer level, so keep that in mind. Through training your Digimon attributes from maximum health, mana pool, attack, defense, speed and brains, you achieve different Digivolutions as I said. You make your partner stronger and then you travel around the File Island trying to recruit some Digimons. But not all Digimons are recruitable. You need to find specific Digimons that are scattered around the map, and again by using trials and errors. There is no map, no guide to find the next Digimon, but some rumors or clues about the events of File City. And you know what, as I was writing these words, I realized that Digimon World is the Death Stranding of Digimon games. Whole File City is divided, no facilities, not knowing what to do. It's just us and our BB Digimon. Depending on the Digimon that you recruit, they can either open up a bank in which you can store your items, or sometimes an hospital, item shops, restaurants and even arenas to complete the tournaments. With each recruited Digimon, your city becomes livelier, which makes the player feel a great sense of accomplishment in my opinion. After all of the trials and error progress, Digimon World is a tough game and even tougher than Monster Rancher series in my opinion in terms of monster breeding and training. And if I were to abandon my huge nostalgia glasses and give Digimon World a rank, oof, it is quite hard actually, since it's also not quite user friendly and aged roughed by all of these years. But still, by having a vast world, great exploration content and trials and error approach which I adore, which can also reward the players, I'm gonna say Digimon World is an A-tier Digimon experience. And still I need to play Redigitize and the Next Order once again to decide on the best Digimon World game in terms of breeding, gameplay system, but for now Digimon World is an A-tier Digimon game. Not so user friendly, but having the most unforgettable moments that a Digimon fan can live. If you are interested in Digimon and if I picked your interest, you have 3 choices. If you are looking for a hardcore retro experience, go for a Digimon World 1. If you liked what I told you but looking for a less hardcore experience but want to experience a story, go for Redigitize or Next Order instead of the first Digimon World. As I mentioned before, Digimon Survive is just around the corner, and of course a detailed review for it will also be here. So stay tuned and take your Digimons for a poo-poo walk.